thing. Should still be the 307. Right? Yeah. Still the 307. So this will give me about 4.5 hours if I milk this to the end. I'm gonna put the music back on while I set this shit up. That's not what I want. I've never done one this late before. Alright. Shit's been updated. Hey, look at that. Somebody just lined up, too. And now there's another person lined up. But yeah. I was gonna do this. The funny thing is this is what I was gonna do earlier. If you were on my YouTube live stream earlier today, which, by the way, I watched it back, I clearly need to adjust the volume a bit more on that. Like, I didn't want it too loud, obviously, because I don't want to get, like, any sort of copyright strikes or anything like that for the content, because some of my reaction videos, there's actually, so far, there's only one reaction video, for whatever reason, got taken down completely. And I get it that, like, yeah, if the volume's too loud, it can violate the copyright and stuff like that. And to be fair, in that one that did get taken down, it probably was a little loud. But I realized on this one I had it way too quiet. So I thought I had it up loud enough. It sounded fine when I test recorded it, but on the playback on actual YouTube, not so much. So I have adjusted it a little bit, so hopefully next time it's a little bit clearer. But yeah, I mentioned I was going to be on YouTube later, or here on Twitch later, after my YouTube stream. And then, yeah, I don't know, today's been a weird day. Like, to give you an idea of what my week and everything's been like, so, like, I'm on vacation this week. Since Sunday, I've been on vacation. And I'm off until Monday still. My wife, daughter, and mother-in-law, who live here in this house with me, they went on their little girls' trip that they like to go on. And it's just me and my son this week. Now, they left Monday morning, and so it's been just my son and I. And my son doesn't like to do a lot of stuff, like, and it's not like I have money to, like, go, like, I don't know, like, maybe we should have gone and done some things. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, like, I spent the first half of the week, though, trying to do a few things around the house that I wanted to do. There was a lot of garbage that I had piled up down here in the basement. As I've been going through stuff and trying to reduce clutter and everything else in the house, I've been, like, trying to yeah, I've been, like, you know, I've been, like, garbage bags and stuff like that. Lots of cardboard and paper and shit and whatever else. So I did that and gathered up all that cardboard and garbage and shit and so forth. Cleaned up a little bit more garbage than I already had as well down here. And then the bigger project that I wanted to do is my wife and mother-in-law have this wonderful habit of just throwing everything in the garage. And the garage is like, there's always like this really, like, there's plenty of room in the garage, but there's always like this narrow fucking path from where we keep all the garbage cans and everything, because we got like, there's a door that goes directly from our kitchen into the garage, which is at the back of the garage, and just inside that door, on the other side of that doorway, is where our garbage bins and all that are. And I then have to try and get them out through the front of the through the garage door, but there's always like this really fucking narrow path because everything gets piled up and leaked out there. Because as much as I'm a bit of a pack rat, like I mean, and you can see it, like I've got boxes of shit back here, but this is pretty much it. It's all just shoved in this corner. It's all neatly stacked in these boxes. There's a few other piles in a few other places, but again, I've been slowly decluttering that, but I'm trying not to make the mess worse. So you know, so I've done, so I, you know, whatever. My mother-in-law and my wife are probably worse than I am for clutter and shit. So they tend to, like, as they empty shit out, they just throw it all in the fucking garage. And we've got like hundreds of like bags, and I mean, like, I'm not talking like just plastic cheap bags. I'm talking like nice bags, suitcases, backpacks, all this other stuff that we've had for years, and they just throw them all into the garage, and it just keeps piling up and piling up, and nothing's neatly stacked or organized, and it's just a big heaping mess. And like I said, there's always just like this narrow path that seems to keep always getting narrower and narrower, and every time I even just kind of do a little bit of neat cleanup just to widen the path just the tiniest bit, like by the next week when I go to take the garbage out, it's all fucking there again. And it's like, and they're keeping boxes for like no reason, which I don't understand. So I decided to go through that and see what was actually in this big heaping pile of crap that was taking up more than half the garage. And so I did. And it's literally just, as I mentioned, these bags, boxes that for some reason they're keeping, and they're So, yeah, what was I saying? Right. So the pile of garbage they've got is literally like pile of garbage. Well, I mean, yeah, some of it was garbage, but it's literally just like cardboard boxes that they're keeping for some reason. All these bags that we don't even use, and then some Rubbermaid containers, most of which just had bags already in it, and some of them that were empty because apparently hadn't they just throw them there when they're done using them instead of putting them back into Rubbermaid containers. So I filled up all the Rubbermaid containers, went through it all. There was some garbage in there, and there was some old stuff in there that we need to get rid of. Like, we still had like these tables and chairs, like these little kiddie tables and chairs from when the kids were really young. And they were like old, and they're rusted, beat up, and broken, and stuff like that. So I cleaned all that up, dug that all out. Now the path is like nice and wide. Won't last, sadly. But I didn't actually move anything. Like, that's the funny thing, is I didn't move anything. All I did was put the bags in the Rubbermaid containers and then just stack the Rubbermaid containers properly on top of each other, instead of them just all being piled in front of each other with the bags all just kind of thrown on top. So yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna, I just cleaned all that up, so that's done. It's taken care of. Thank God. I don't have to deal with that. So obviously, between all the garbage down here and the garbage up there, obviously I put as much out of it for garbage day as I could, but obviously the bulk stuff, and then there was still stuff that just whatever, that all got hauled to the dump today. So, yeah, so I did all that, and whatever, you know. And, so, like, that's been a big portion of what I've been doing, and getting cleaned up and stuff like that. Which was good. Like, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so that, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so that was the bulk of what I did for the start of this week. Thank you for the follow. And no problem. here to help. Yes, anyways, that was fine. It wasn't like what I did the whole time. I mean, my son and I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I found out afterwards. Apparently, they had actually watched at school. I was like, oh. But he didn't tell me. Which I think is hilarious. So yeah, we watched the Super Mario Brothers movie. I have played some games. I did stream on Monday. Got caught up on some TV, so it's not like I haven't done anything. But then this morning, a friend of mine, Kelly, was streaming, and I was getting some videos edited and uploaded for YouTube. And I usually will put her stream on in the background. Excuse me, just help boost her viewer numbers or whatever while I'm doing other stuff. And not to say we won't chat, but I won't really be paying attention to what she's playing. But anyways, she while she was playing, and she was talking to somebody else at the time anyways, and I was like, just uploading my videos, and all of a sudden, I started getting mild anxiety. And I know what it is, the anxieties, because I realize that a lot of my vacation, I'm closer to going back to work than I am at the start of my vacation, right? And it's the idea that I gotta go back to work soon, and I don't want to go back to work. Not because work is bad, because it's not, but because I don't feel I don't know how to describe it, it's weird. I feel when I don't have time off, I'm always like, oh man, I could really use some time off. Be nice to be able to do things I want to do, and do basically exactly what I've done this week, right? Do what I want to do, get a little bit of organization done, and so forth. And there's always that part of you that's always like, oh man, it would be so cool if you didn't have to work and you could just do what you want to do all the time. But then when I have the time off for the week, I start having this issue where it's which is basically what happened tonight, which was there's lots of things I want to do, and could do, but I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. And so I ended up sitting for hours doing nothing. And I mean literally nothing. Just kind of scrolling through Twitter and whatever else. And that's when, you know, the depression kind of kicks in, because suddenly you realize you're wasting your time, but you can't motivate yourself to do anything because you can't decide on what you want to fucking do. And so then you start thinking, well, maybe going to work is a good thing, because if I had all this time off, like weeks on end, where you didn't have to go back to, like, if you never had to go to work, maybe I'd feel like this all the time, and then I just, you know, wallow in a pit of self-destruction or whatever, right? Which obviously would not be good. So I don't know, but then part of me thinks that could just be more of the fact that, you know, your time is limited right now. So like in this case, I know my vacation is only X amount long, and there's so much I want to do. And part of the reason why I can't decide isn't because I'm indecisive, but because I want to do it all, but I know there's not enough time to do it all. Whereas if I had the time, maybe, I don't know, like, it's so stupid. Like, this is where my brain's at right now. Like, my brain is, like, fucked. That was Nacho who went home, right? Yes. You know, this is just where my brain's at right now, right? So, and I don't know why my brain's like this. It just is. I can't. Yeah, I don't know why my brain is like this right now. Like, it's been like this for, honestly, a very long time. So I don't know. I really don't know what it is. Like, mind you, I know something else that's frustrating me about this week too. And that's because, like, we have a shit ton of, like, DVDs, Blu-rays, books, music CDs. I've got a shit ton of video games that I like from older systems. I've got old game systems and stuff like that that we have posted online for sale. But honestly, like, I would love to just do a yard sale, but because of where we live, because it's a shared property, right? Because it's basically townhouses. You're not allowed to have one unless it's a community one, meaning everyone on the property would have to be involved, or that wants to be involved, of course. Which means everyone has to agree to have it. And every year they ask, like, do you guys want to do one this year? And every year this house has voted yes. And I know there's a few others that want to do one too, but there's always the majority that vote no. And I don't understand why.